Good morning, this is Jack from Charting Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 25th of August. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my tactical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing. Learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingmarkets.substack.com and is published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at, obviously, Jackson Hole. We had a very nice rally off the lows. We've almost made it back to a retest of the high here on ES-SPX. I'm kind of leaning towards actually seeing that. We're seeing a bit of a pullback here at the moment. I was thinking we might be returning to retest this high, maybe set up some sell signals, but it looks like it might go back below that, maybe into a test of the weekly pivot at 64.47. In Q, we saw a bit of a rally here. Again, that's being given back. This had fallen the most and has risen the least. So not entirely sure we've got to break back up here, but we will see. But I've got an interesting scenario to lay out for you today. RTY, this actually made a higher high. I was saying on Friday morning this might be a bull flag, and well, it was. So that's made target. YM, again, I was saying this might be a bull flag, and again, it has made target. So these could be the starts of larger breaks up, but not necessarily in the bag. So I'll talk about that when we're looking at the bigger picture charts. On DAX, we have a potential bull flag that's broken up, but equally it could still be forming. We could still see a lower low within it. So watching that with interest. The STX went up and made a higher high. We had a little level top which had broken down here and made a major mess of that, and actually kind of ruined the larger double top as well. But we could still have potential topping action here. We will see. All right, let's have a look at the daily charts and the hourly charts. Let's have a look at the daily charts first. All right, looking at ES, we got pretty close to the high, and on SPX we got within two handles of the high. We got up to 4878.89. 2.5 handles of the high. That was very close to a retest of the all-time high. Looking at the Qs. Qs closed at 571.97. That was a close back over the daily middle band. Obviously, that needs to be confirmed today. And there is some reason to doubt that, although the best expression of that reason is the setup on crypto that I just wrote a post about. So have a look at that. But that is currently a break back over the daily middle band. On Dia, we went significantly higher and we went significantly over this trend line here, which is a very nice trend line. But I did on IWM and Dia, I did have alternatives. The main alternative I think I already had drawn on here, and so that is I certainly had it drawn on the hourly charts, but we'll come to those in a moment. I'm looking at the hourly charts. Let's have a look at IWM. Sorry, on the daily charts. On the daily chart, we went through the trend line, but again, I've got alternatives here. The best looking alternative is the one that's looking at here. It's not the only one, but I am wondering whether we're heading up here. And of course, the other thing I would mention is, of course, we have got an open IHS. It has broken up. And really, I am expecting it to make target. I'm thinking we do a retracement and then do it. But of course, we could go straight up into it. We shall see. All right, let's have a look at the hourly charts where... Bear with me a moment. Okay, looking at SPX, we've got obviously a nice looking trend line here, and we never reached that. And in the event that we see a strong move up, I'd be wondering whether we would go up and reach that. And I've got that now in about the 65.50 area. That's an interesting area actually, because I called that as a target back in 2021 when a big pattern on the SPX chart broke up. And I wrote it here, 5th of July 2021. There's a pattern option here where SPX is breaking up from a rising megaphone with a target in the 65.60 area. Obviously, I'm wondering if we might be going to... No, sorry, we're pretty close to that. We haven't quite made it yet, but I'm thinking we may well reach that in the next few days, which is an interesting one. I mean, it's mainly of historical interest, but it's kind of thing I keep an eye on. On the Qs chart, we've got a very nice looking rising wedge here. We could have a target back up at a retest of this high, but equally we're testing the 50 DMA and we could fail right here. Dire, I've got two possible alternate trend lines here, both of which I really prefer to the original one, which was kind of steep. I'm thinking if we go higher, then the first one's in about the 460 area, and I've got the second one up in about 472 area, I think. And on IWM, I've got a couple of alternatives here too. We're breaking over here, but of course these breaks over could be bearish overthrows. They've not really improved the pattern position the way they have on crypto, but they're still interesting, and there is still a potential point of failure here. And if we see crypto fail, well, I'm wondering whether we'll see equities fail down as well. So we shall see. All right, let's have a look at DX, which responded badly to the Jackson Hole news that we're going to be cutting interest rates. It's amazing to see all these reactions over interest rates, because the Fed doesn't actually control interest rates. I mean, I remember I was writing a post last October, I think, talking about the 50 basis point cut that was coming, and saying that it may well be that interest rates, which are based on bond yields, would go up instead. And you know what? They cut it by 0.5%, and over the next few months and weeks, I think actually, the TYX yield went up by 1%. So actually, it had it had no effect on actual interest rates, and which went up because that's what they were just doing anyway. So I'm skeptical as to whether it has much of an impact, but the impact of the psychology of the market is what's important here, really. So we shall see. If there's a perception that the yield will drop on US Treasuries, then that's going to push down the dollar, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. We still do have a head and shoulder target. We did not invalidate it, and I've got that down in the 96.8 area. ZB, we're seeing a bit of a pullback after the move here, but I was already saying that these look like bull flags, and these still look like bull flags on both ZB and ZN. On ZN, the bull flag has actually broken up with a target at a retest of this high here in about the 112.13 area. So we will see how that goes. All right, CL, we've broken up, and we're very, very slowly making it towards the IHS target in the 65.1 area, and we're still moving very slowly towards that target. HO, we've broken up over this declining resistance. Could that be a bull flag? No, it's too large. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see some follow through to the upside, although we do have a 60-minute sell signal fixed. RBOB, we've now made both of the double bottom targets here. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fix here, not showing much sign of downward movement at the moment. We have seen some downward movement on NG. I demoted this from a possible double bottom to a possible bottoming action over the weekend, and it looks like possible bottoming action, but the main thing I'm watching here is this wedge, and we're pretty close to wedge support. As long as that wedge support holds, the lean is upwards, and as long as it doesn't break and just look like and be likely to be a bullish underthrow. So really, the next significant move here should be up on MG. GC, we saw a break up here. I had a little IHS, it broke up. It's got a target in the 34-33 area, and I would like to see that make target, and I think it's going to. I would like to see it continue up into a retest of the all-time high in the 3500 area. And we'll see. All right, SI, we've got a break up from what was a little large to be a flag, and we're back testing that at the moment. I would love to see a retest of this high here in the 39.95 area, but I would note that if we see that, that could be the second high of a double top. Palladium has broken up from a wedge here and looks like it's bottoming out. Possible IHS option might retest the low to give us a double bottom. Platinum, this still looks an awful lot. Well, we do have a double bottom that's broken up with a target in the 1410, 1430 area, but this looks like a very, very nice bear flag, and it's a very nice bear flag. The obvious lean is that this bear flag would break down and make it down into a retest of this low here in about the 1270 area. HG, we've still got a flag which has broken down. That's still not making any move towards the target, which is this this line here, which would be a retest of this low. It's not a big move, but this has been moving very, very slowly since all the tariff excitement. It's still moving very slowly. USD went back up and retested the recent high. This does give us a potential nice looking level top. GBP USD broke up over this what looks like a bull flag resistance trend line. We could be forming a head and shoulders here, but the lean would be it would head back and retest this high here at about the 1.3595 area. USD JPY, we had a double bottom break up here, and that has returned to the lows. This could be a larger IHS forming, and this is pretty close to an ideal right shoulder low. So keeping an open mind on direction here, but normally in this situation, we would see this continue down into a retest this low, and the same with the dollar continuing downwards. USD CAD, nice resistance here at a big resistance trend line, slightly overthrew it, but again, this should be respected, I think. So may well be continuing lower. Australian dollar, possible 60-minute sell signal brewing, possible little level top setup. NZUSD, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed here. We saw a break over declining resistance. So kind of in flux on the currencies. We'll see how it goes. KC, we've still got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. This is after a series of very strong moves here, and it's still continuing up at the moment. We may lose this divergence today. We almost lost it on Friday. SB, still looking at a potential IHS here, but similar to the other one that we had forming, I'm saying here that if we don't see a break up in the next few days, then chances are we're going to head back to retest the low. On CC, possible bull flag here and support at the monthly pivot. I'm wondering about a breakup into a retest of this high here in about the 88.50 area. Looking at CT, we've got a larger double bottom here, looking for a target in the 69.15 to 69.60 area, and we've got a smaller double bottom here, which is broken up with a target, basically, well, minimum to retest this high here in the 68.50 area. I am leaning towards the upside. This looks like the normal little pullback we get after one of these patterns breaks up or down. All right, lumber, still potential bottoming action here. We've got a nice looking falling wedge from the high, which has broken up. So I'm thinking we may well see some more of a rally on ZW. Nice looking wedge that has broken up and looks like bottoming action. Weak 6-minute sell signal has fixed and not really done much so far. Corn, possible 60-minute sell signal is brewing. Wondering about a larger IHS forming here. So we could see a pullback from the right shoulder and go higher from there. Soy, it's actually has seen a strong move up while the others have been basically bottoming out. And I'm wondering about a reversal back down here. We've got a 6-minute sell signal fixed, possible topping action here. There is an opportunity to turn here and some negative divergence on the daily chart. On ZL, we have made the double bottom targets, and we made the initial and extended. So we've got a decision here as to whether to continue. At the moment, we've back tested the monthly pivot, and that's holding. If that's the case and continues to be the case, I'd be leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here at about the 57.2 area. Live cattle is continuing higher at the moment. Nothing compelling saying it's about to turn. And lean hogs still looks like a bear flag that's breaking down. We could be forming a larger bear flag, but there's limited room for it to go up before it becomes too large to be a bear flag. So we shall see. All right, looking at questions, and we have none. All right, just a quick review of ES here. We saw a strong move up on Friday, but there is a moment of uncertainty here where we could just reject back down again, and not a bad setup to see that. But on the cryptos, there's a really, really nice setup to reverse back down here. That's worth having a look. So have a look at that. I posted that about half an hour ago. So have a look at that, because that is boosting the case that we could see a fail here. Ideally, after a retest of this high here on SPX, but possibly directly. So if we do see that reject back up on crypto, then that could actually mean we're going to go significantly higher on equities in the short term. You need to watch out for that too. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. Everyone take care. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.